The Healing Hour for July 10th, 2018. All right, here we are. We're live. Welcome to the Healing Hour, and we're with you for the next hour with Alison, Heath, and we're talking about longevity. Yes, Martha and Joe, you can live longer than you can imagine, and we're going to help you know how to do that. So there's a number of ways that you can join me. If you're hearing this call, you can phone in toll free, 1-866-369-7464. If you're like Valerie and don't have a webcam, there's also a link available to come on to Zoom, and I don't know what that link is at the moment. If you click the link, wherever you find it, it will give you the telephone number. Phone that, and it will bring you on as well.
I can give you the number. To join it, it's 901-176-8122.
Right. But if you're already hearing this, you're already on. So, and if you're not on, you're not hearing this. So, anyway, this is the joy of longevity. You get to figure out these very intelligent things. So, so how did you get involved in this whole thing, Alison? I know we've talked about a bit of your life story, a bit of your background, which is always helpful for people listening to this show about. So what about longevity? How does she know anything about this topic anyway? So who are you, and how did you get to this to be your passion?
Well, I'm 93 years old, and I feel like I'm 60.
I never would have guessed that.
Well, there you go. Because it's not true. Actually, I'm 61 years old, and I still feel like I'm 16, okay? Now, for me, longevity isn't so much about the number of years, although that's a big part of it. It's really about the quality of the years, okay? So, Tyhson, we can't tell how many pages we've got in our book, but let's make every page the best quality possible for our book of life. And to me, that's a really big thing. And you know what's so weird? When you start on the journey toward vibrant health, toward optimal, wonderful, high vibration, tapped in, tuned on, or whatever, tuned in, tapped on, I don't know. But when you really start connecting to that umbilical cord of source energy, because every single cell in your body is vibrating at a very high vibration, it becomes the biggest high of all. No cocaine trip, no heroin, no Oxycontin, nothing can hold a candle to it.
And no pain.
It's a real high. No pain.
Yeah.
And tons of gain. I remember the first time that I started adding superfoods to my diet. I was going to university, and I'd had a horrible accident. They were going to amputate my leg. They saw no way to save it, blah, blah, blah. My leg is perfect now. I mean, scarred up, but it works, and there's no pins or anything. So I'm driving down the hill to go to my university. And as I'm driving down the hill, it was kind of a valley. And the sky parted. Sun shone down. And it was like a religious sky. It was so incredible. And that was 31 years ago, and the feeling was like yesterday. It's that clear in my memory. It was that much of a transformational moment. And I thought, if I could put this in the water of the world, I could end all war. And I was thinking that every single cell of my body felt alive, felt grounded euphoria. It felt fabulous. And to me, that was what living really is. That's what nature intended for us. That's the vibrant health that we were meant to experience. And I remember being in class, and it would be like, I come to class 3 days earlier, it would be the last class. I wouldn't have looked at my notes, and it would be like there was no gap. It would be like yesterday. My brain was working. I was doing international finance and getting over 100% because I was getting all the bonus questions. That, to me, is being alive, Tyhson.
Yeah, absolutely. For me in the 60s, 70s, while other people were doing psychotropics, and hash to have their mystical journey, whether they were on or off the bus, I have to say by actually wanting that pure divine energy or that plant energy up my spine, up my kundalini, I was writing essays in a very short order and getting first class. So, what the point that you're making is, the good high quality superfoods can do the same thing. However we choose to activate our kundalini, however we choose to activate that mystical part of ourselves is absolutely necessary to reach higher levels of consciousness. And the exciting thing for you is that you've discovered that you can do this through food. You don't need to do drugs, you don't need to do psychedelics, like you said, you don't even have to run around the block. Although I have to say, I've been really excited about going to the gym. So I know that there's a magical connection between physical strengthening exercise, body alignment, and good high quality food. So we're not saying it's all just vibrant food, but it's a good part of the equation.
Well, first of all, I don't limit myself. Okay? What the work I do as a longevity rescuer is polishing every single facet of the diamond so you can sparkle and shine. That could be your mind flex. Okay? Most people say mindset. I'm talking about mind flexibility. It could be your spiritual connection. It could be your interpersonal communications. It could be your exercise routine. It could be limiting your exposure to Wi-Fi. It could be pure water. It could be pure air. It could be essential oils. It could be energy healing. I mean, every single facet. I'm talking about integrative, holistic health. And that in itself includes shedding the extra weight that we start putting on as we age. Because you can guarantee if you've got a little bit of a fatty belly, a muffin top, you've got fat around your pancreas. You've got fat around your liver. You've got fat around your intestines, around your heart. That is not something that you want to carry with you. You don't want to carry that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
all of those things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do have that problem, and I am excited by the fact that you were able to take care of your muffin top. And if you can do it, well, I'm 10 years older. It's going to maybe a little more difficult for me to do it as well. But yeah, so this is all possible. So I'll welcome everybody to the show. There we have Chris Anderson. If everybody could mute themselves. And I don't know why we're seeing Chris. We're seeing you and your lovely horse. I don't know where Alison went here. Well, we'll see if we can get her back. I know she's still somewhere there, but the horse seems to be the dominant force here right now.
If
So,
you go up in the upper corner, upper right-hand corner,
yeah, there you
you're
are.
going to
You're
see
back.
a speaker.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, so you can put it in mute.
It's
Yeah.
just the horse
Yep,
galloped in and
I'm
took
here.
over.
That's Marilyn.
Yeah, and
That's a
there's nothing.
magical
Yeah,
horse.
and there's nothing wrong with that.
Merlin, I mean.
Yeah, Merlin and the unicorn. So, yeah, so we want to raise one's vibrant health no matter how we do it. And what you're talking about is an integrative approach. It's just not high quality food. It's just not exercise. That it could be essential oils. It could be having your massage done. Having your bars run, getting rid of what no longer serves you emotionally, psychologically, spiritually. All of this is part of the holistic health aspect and what is really what we talk about on the wellness show because it's all interconnected. Your health and your wealth are interconnected. And I know, Alison, this is one of your passions is that you not only want people to be healthy, you want them to be wealthy. And you really can't do one without the other.
Well, you can, but it's so much better. You can have it all. But the thing is, Tyson, okay, everybody, or at least 90% of the people have skeletons in their closet. They have things that they feel very self-conscious about. So, for example, one of the gals that I've been working with for a few years now came out of the closet about being bulimic. For 31 years, she has been purging every meal she's eating. Do you know what that does to all of your organs, to your digestive system, to your whole body? It's horrendous.
Yeah, it's corrosive.
I had
It's
another
toxic.
very highly acidic,
Yeah.
and I had another person who we were talking about a skin technology, okay? Because I work with a skin technology that literally turns back the clock on aging, gets rid of scarring. I fell down. I had a split chin. I knocked out 3 molars, still have one missing here. My bag lady look. I was split my eyebrow here. I had a big cut here, all over. I was covered with lacerations. And I rolled this unique, one of a kind, can't be reverse engineered, breathable mask on, and you can't even see any scarring. You can't see anything. And my face, people see me now and they go like, oh my God, you look younger than you did 6 years ago. What on earth are you doing? I know you're a health nut. I know you're a superfood junkie, but what are you doing? Everybody likes hearing that kind of thing. But the thing is that when I'm talking to people about this, they'll go, oh my gosh, do you think it's going to help my scar that I have on my leg? And they've been wearing pants all through the summer because they're so self-conscious about this scar. Or I had another woman talk to me yesterday, and she confessed she had been my tenant in this duplex that I had owned. And it was out east, and she was from British Columbia, Canada. And she came there with her family and cried constantly, wanted to go back home. She went back home, and she found me again on Facebook and stuff, or her husband found me. We remain in touch. And she contacted me the other day because I did a Facebook Live. And I did a Facebook Live about how there's such a huge need for the people who are turning their health around. Conditions that are supposedly incurable conditions, and they're better. They need to share that. And so many people are hiding away in a closet now, or embarrassed about it, or whatever.
You
When
mean
I was
embarrassed
21,
about
I was
their,
diagnosed.
you mean embarrassed about their diagnosis? Embarrassed that they have cancer? Embarrassed that they have a terminal disease or that they have some diagnosis from the doctor? Is that what you're talking about?
That's what I'm talking about. So in my case, at the age of 21, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And then the bipolar disorder, I took it faithfully because I thought if they won't allow me to be superwoman, they won't allow me, society will not allow me to go 10 days without sleep and to accomplish so much, I'll give it up. I'll take lithium. So I took lithium faithfully because I made up my mind. I was going to be compliant. Society wouldn't allow it. And then the lithium robbed the thyroid function. So I had to take Synthroid. So I took Synthroid faithfully because I was now hypothyroid. I had a big lump when I swallowed on my throat, a big lump. And I went, okay, fine. I have to take this. These are 2 incurable conditions that I will have for the rest of my life. And I accepted it. It was just, okay, fine. That's the way it is. And then in 87, when I was run over by the motorcycle and I discovered superfoods, and I just told you about this like transformational experience I had, I went, oh my God, things are changing for me. But it wasn't on my radar that it could be possible that I could no longer be bipolar or that I could no longer be hypothyroid. Those were incurable conditions. So I went ahead and I took the medication faithfully, and I went every 3 months, rolled up my sleeve, had a blood test, and so on. And I noticed that the colors of the pills were changing. And sometimes I'd phone the pharmacy and say, is this the right pill? And they'd say, oh, yes, it's fine. And what was happening was over the years, it was diminishing. In the year 2000, my physician said to me, oh, you don't need to have Synthroid anymore. You're not hypothyroid. I went, what? You can't cure hypothyroidism. And he said, and this is very telling. He said, I don't know what you're doing, but keep it up. And I went, okay. So I continued with my superfoods. And then a few months later, he said, you know what? You don't need lithium. And I was elated, but I was also terrified. I did not
Did he
want to
ask
go
you
back.
why did he ask you what you were doing? Did he have any interest at all? I'm just curious.
Tyson, here's what he said, and I quote, I don't know what you're doing, and I don't want to know, but keep it up.
Yes, exactly. And that's the point I want to make. So just to highlight some of the things you're saying, they certainly found in German new medicine that the diagnosis from the actual doctor has more of a detrimental effect than the actual disease or disorder itself. So remember that you have your life in your hands. The doctor doesn't control how you heal. He's just doing a diagnosis based on his understanding of evidence. And he doesn't want to know, your doctor really doesn't want to know if this other alternative method works or doesn't work. So think of it this way, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but this is important. If it does work and he were to know it works, that would question all of the years of his education, all of how he shows up in society. He'd have to question his integrity and the $150,000 or whatever, $300,000 of his medical training. His life would be a bit of chaos. So I want you to have compassion for your doctor. Your doctor, you need to know about your doctor, and you do need to have those sort of tests and diagnoses that he's good at doing. But remember, like Alison says, that your health is in your hands, and with that diagnosis, you can make a conscious choice to do something about it, and that's what she's talking about.
Yep. And not only that, but there are 6 doctors in my family, amongst my cousins and so on, and they're kind of a sickly lot, to be honest with you. And there's a lot. The system's broken. It's that simple. And so what you're talking about is the nocebo effect, where the doctor gives you a diagnosis and where we hand over our power. I don't believe we need to do that.
No,
And
absolutely not.
so this woman contacted me because she heard my Facebook Live where I was describing that situation that happened to me. And lo and behold, what was so interesting was that she said, I 4 years ago got off of my antidepressants and I'm still battling with depression. So she was back in her beautiful British Columbia, etc. Everything was honky-dory in terms of that. She has a lovely husband, a great family, wonderful kids, but she has something going on. It's a chemical imbalance in her body. And the fact of the matter is, I've worked with so many people over the years, and I've seen so many quote unquote incurable conditions be rectified. And how that is happening is so interesting because it's actually happening. It can happen instantaneously. We can be our own healers. And you know the power of energy medicine, Tyson. But
Absolutely.
It can also happen. It can happen on a slow and steady progress when we start adding in superfoods. Because what's happening is that we're raising our vibration on a cellular level, and every single cell of our body starts to come alive, and each cell has its own intelligence. Each cell has its own. When we can just get out of the way, stop the resistance and so on, it's so weird because like there was one guy that I worked with who was addicted to Diet Pepsis. And he used to drink this Diet Pepsi by the case, and he used the case to hold up his TV. And what happened after working with me for a short while and putting superfoods in his body, he didn't have to go, oh, this is woo-woo, whatever, blah, 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 blah. No, it was simply, food, take this. And he said to me, you know what? It's been 3 months, and I haven't lifted my TV down once. His addiction to Diet Pepsi was gone. Completely gone. Things start changing. And then, like I said at the beginning of this call, it becomes your biggest high. It becomes your biggest joy. It becomes your biggest psychedelic experience because you are not only awakening your Kundalini, you're doing so much more. You're expanding the frontal edge of awareness for the whole universe. And it's gigantic.
Well, this is the Healing Hour, and we are here to take requests from those that are listening to the show. And we did have a couple of guests here and then disappeared. I don't know if the horse lady will come galloping back into our view anytime soon, but I think she's gone. But Valerie, we do have Valerie, so let's ask Valerie. Hey, Valerie, do you have any questions out there?
Not at this time.
All right. Well, we just want you to know that you're part of the show, so you get to ask questions, really tough questions too.
Well, I'm going to ask for somebody else.
Okay, ask for somebody else.
My husband has to watch his blood sugar, but he does his own thing. He doesn't really follow any suggestion. So, do you have any suggestion?
There's a man that you can listen to that's very profound. And does he have extra weight as well?
No.
Okay. So there's something that he can do that is really good. There's a Dr. Fung, Fung, and if you
I've heard of him.
Yes. So he's fabulous. He's curing type 2 diabetes, right, left, and center with intermittent fasting.
I actually I think somebody mentioned it, although the person didn't follow it. They mentioned it, and I got the stuff, and I've tried to get him to watch it, and it's like trying to lead a horse to whatever.
Well, there's also things that you can do. If you are the one preparing the meals, and if you're the homemaker in the house, there's a specialized cookbook that you can contact me. It's gourmet food. The food is absolutely terrific. And if you're a meat eater, there's many recipes and so on there with really good food that's very low glycemic. And if he starts...
Well, I will contact you, but I have so many of them books.
Well, Valerie, one of the things I did for my friend downstairs is that I did, and we still do, green smoothies for him. And they're like 2/3 green smoothie and 1/3 fruit. And we had him off of his usual breakfast and on that. And we can honestly say that his blood sugar stabilized in less than 2 weeks, just with doing that. And
is there
Sarah,
something?
what's the name of the lady and the system that we were studying? Bachenka?
Victoria Bachenka.
Yeah, Victoria Bachenka. Okay, if you Google her whole family is involved in it, and she, the green smoothie lady. Yeah, the green smoothie lady, and we were getting results. The problem is that, like your husband, Wayne wants that solid food, so now he does the green smoothie, but then he does his regular breakfast, which seems to defeat the whole purpose in the first place, because the green smoothie is actually a meal replacement. But it is doable. I know it's doable. I've actually seen the results of that. So. And Valerie, did you do your homework? Did you whisper in his ear? Did you talk to him when in his sleep time?
Yes, maybe I need to whisper. Maybe I need to whisper about that one.
Yeah, a little bit more whispering, like horse whispering. This is husband whispering. It works.
Because what you're telling me about smoothie, whatever. I mean, I don't use smoothie, but I have a vegetable drink every morning, and he has he always has oats and stuff like that, and I keep trying to suggest to him maybe he should cut down on the oats, but he's programmed with his oats and his eggs every morning.
You know what, Valerie? It's his decision.
Tell you the truth, I came after 30-something years, I came to that conclusion.
It's definitely his decision, and I do sneak superfoods in with people's diet. So when I'm making them, I'll make them whatever it is, the foods they like. So for example, I have a non-compliant type 2 diabetic in my life, and with him, I'll make him a cauliflower crust pizza. And in my cauliflower crust pizza, I'll take chia seeds, grind them up, flax seeds, grind them up, maca, different things like that, and I'll add them to this pizza. So the pizza is a pizza, but it's super food.
What I said to him, I said, do you know I have some chia seeds? Maybe you should add it to your cereal.
No, you do it for him. And you don't give him any choice.
Big mistake. That's what I'm trying to say. You sneak it in, you don't tell. So when you're making him gravy, you put it in, you put the chia seed in, and so on. Chia seeds used to be more valuable than gold. So there's a lot of stuff there.
I do program his water, and if I sort of forget, he actually says, did you do my water? So I guess, that helps, but I'd like to get some food in.
Yeah, and programming the water will help as well. You can also program the water that to make him feel, love his green smoothie.
I do that for his behavior.
Great. Good for you. All right, so we're going to carry on with our discussion. And
okay, thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
Yes.
I mean, we're going to get your husband straightened out.
Oh,
he doesn't know that yet.
Thank you.
But don't forget to love him.
I'm going to try and see if I can get him to visit you.
All right, that would be great.
Is he on any medication? Is he on?
No, he refused. No, he refuses to take them.
Okay.
So Valerie, where are you? Where do you live?
British Columbia.
But where?
Surrey, BC.
Oh, well, there you are. You can come and visit Alison. And you can come and visit me. We can stick him in the dodecahedron, do a sound chamber session with him. You come and stay in the cottage, and we can do a whole wellness plan. And he'll leave a much better man. And you'll be dancing on air. Yeah, so all those are possible. You're not that far away, which would be exciting. So we could make that happen.
I'm trying to manifest. You know what?
Oh, those dollars. Well, that's the other thing Alison wants to talk about. So we're going to mute you, and she's going to talk about that too. She's going to talk about that health and wealth are intimately connected. And maybe you can.
Thank you both.
Yeah, maybe you can catch that wave so you can come and spend time with us. All right, bye for now. So Valerie, stick on. We just muted you. You don't need to disappear. We had the horse lady gallop in, gallop out. We had somebody else gallop in and gallop out. So people are coming and going. I don't know whether we're scaring them or not, but anyway, this is a great conversation. So back over to you, Alison.
Yes, I know that horse lady, and she has a very important meeting that started 8 minutes ago.
Oh,
and we were delayed in our getting started, which is why everything was a tight schedule. But one of the things that I do know is that people say, well, I don't have the money. I don't have the money to invest in my health. And I hear that, and I think to myself, I wear my designer clothes on the inside. When we look at what we actually have, what we spend our money on, we spend our money on so much stuff that just collects up, and it doesn't do us any good at all. We spend money on assets that aren't assets. They're costing us money to maintain them, and they're not doing us any good. And yet, the Dalai Lama said, humanity mystifies me. I'm not quoting directly, but he said mankind spends so much of their health and their time and their energy making money, and then they spend all their money trying to regain their health.
Yeah, it's
And the
ridiculous.
fact of the matter is,
It's
yeah, if you
ridiculous.
don't have your health, you don't have anything. And it's really weird because I heard this man speaking to young millenniums, and he was saying to them, if you want to get started in a business where you can actually be helping people, you can achieve better grades in school because your mind is going to function better. You won't be having the flu and mono and this and that and chronic fatigue and all these other things. You won't have the anxiety that's been crippling you and the depression. You're not going to have all these different things, and you're going to be able to start making money now so that by the time you're 30, you will be financially set for life. And it's going to cost you $1,500 to get started. And all the students are going, oh, $1,500. I don't think so. That's too much money. Oh no. And so he's there and he's talking to them and he said, you know, I'm a lot older than you guys. I'm in my 70s now. And the interesting thing is that I've made so much money over the years. I can do whatever I want to do. I've got the time freedom. I've got the money freedom. I can do it all. And he said, you know, I just bought myself my 5th Ferrari. And he said, the fact of the matter is I don't even like the color. I don't even like the model. In fact, I'll sell it to any one of you guys here. Just come up with $1,500 and it's yours. All of a sudden their phones are out and they're doing everything they can possibly humanly do to get $1,500. Now, what was the difference? Somehow or other they saw the value of this brand new Ferrari, but they didn't see the value of starting a multi-million-dollar business that had no ceiling on income and that was going to make them healthy and that was going to make them potentially have the potential to make them set for life before they were 30. But they didn't get it. They didn't get the value. So if you want something like they wanted that Ferrari, all of a sudden, bang, 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 they come up with the money. They find it. They find it somewhere, somehow. And this is what people do not realize. They've given away their power for so long.
Yeah,
they have thought
for ridiculous things. I mean, if you have a house, which is no different than owning a body, and you have a leak in the house, you don't think about phoning the plumber. You don't think about a bill of $500. You may complain that the bill's $500 or $600, but there's no choice. You get it done, otherwise you ruin the house. But people can't seem to make that connection with their body. They'd rather forego going to the dentist or going to the doctor or figuring out which vitamins they need to take or clearing their bioenergy feeling, or learning how to ground or any of the things that would help them show up. I mean, when I'm working with clients, the first thing I do is I look at their energy field. And for 75% of the population, 50% of their bioenergy is going elsewhere. That's ridiculous. That's like working on half speed. It's like on 2 cylinders of a 4-cylinder car or 3 cylinders of a 6-cylinder car. It makes no sense to me. So I say, how would you like to wake up and have twice as much energy? Yes, everybody wants that. Would you be willing to invest in that? No, I can't do that. I don't want to. I don't have the money. So you're right. Our priorities are all skewed. Why we don't undervalue our body as a living energy generator. Why we don't respect it. Why we don't love it. Why we don't take care of it. Why we don't do what it's obvious to do. I have no idea. But we'll do it for our car. We'll do it for our house. We'll do it for something else. But not
Don't
for
forget,
ourselves.
our cars and our house are not assets. Those are liabilities. And what's so interesting is that my father always said, get a good education, because an education is something they can't take away from you. And the interesting thing is that when we are investing in our health, when we are investing in superfoods in our bodies, when we're investing on taking care of our self-development, I call the work I do a PhD in self-development with some products attached. And when we start giving our body the nutritional, nutrient-dense, full-spectrum nutrition that it needs on a cellular level, we start waking up. Bing! We don't need an alarm clock. We pop out of bed. We are enthused. And when you're enthusiastic, the root of that, the etymology of enthusiasm means in theos, with God, connected to God energy, connected to source energy, connected, that umbilical cord again. When you are there, you are so alive and so vibrant. All of a sudden, you have the energy, you have the mental clarity, you have the focus, and you have the ability to make money. And money is just an energy, and so many people have static around the word money and around the word wealth. And they have figured out so many different BS belief systems surrounding money, which is simply a neutral entity. It's not good, it's not bad. It's what we assign to it. So many people are raised, money doesn't grow on trees, money is the root of all evil, this, that, all this type of thing. You have to cheat people in business, and so on. And so many people look and go, oh my gosh, if I'm going to do something, if I'm going to have my own business where I'm going to be helping people, oh, no. I don't do sales. Excuse me? You want your children to clean their room? You're selling them on the idea. You want to get a job? You're selling yourself to get the job. You want your husband to eat broccoli? You're selling him on the idea of eating broccoli. We are constantly selling, influencing people, constantly. And when you start realizing that you care about other people, when you really, genuinely care about the outcome for other people, it is so astounding because you become a consultant. You are sharing, and you're able to open that closet of skeletons, and you're able to share with pure vulnerability. And it's funny because my sister taught me a very quick little story when I was very young. And she said, there'll be 10 people that will come in front of you. One person will kick you. The next person will slap you. The next person will spit on you. The next person will punch you in the solar plexus. If you put up a wall, you're going to miss the smile of the 10th person. And that smile of love is worth all the other kicks and slaps and spits and everything. So this is getting back to the idea of so many people have a skeleton in their closet. So many people take themselves so seriously. They forget about that little kid that used to go out and used to just throw her arms out and just have fun and have joy and have pleasure and just be.
And had lots of energy to do it.
Yeah, and they're so worried about what are other people thinking about me, this, that, or whatever, or they're carrying the problems of the past. So another gal that was talking to me yesterday was telling me she wrote a book, and her book was all about her personal story with her family experience from 2 alcoholic parents, and her dad committed suicide and this and that. She wrote the whole book under a pen name. And her picture, she's got a Facebook page for her book to promote her book. It's the back of her head, and so on. She couldn't come out of the closet with her thing because it was so terrible. And yet every single person on the flippin' planet has their things. If we
absolutely.
Stop treating ourselves as precious objects that are so, have these big, deep, dark secrets that nobody else shares and realizes that everybody else shares. And it's so funny, Tyhson, because I wrote a book. I didn't bother to publish it. But anyway, I wrote a book and a doctor wrote this fabulous foreword to it and so on about curing the incurable, curing the bipolar, curing the hypothyroidism. And my mother said, Alison, for crying out loud, I had to wait until she died before I wrote the book. because she said to me, she said, please, would you please promise me one thing? Just don't write the book. Write fiction. You're such a good writer. Write fiction. And she said, why would you want to drag that up? You got better. You got cured. Just forget it. Why do you want any stigma? And
Yeah,
you know
we don't
what?
want to blot on the family history, really, Alison. Behave yourself, right? We don't want anybody to know our dark secrets. I mean, it's crazy.
She wanted to protect me from stigma. She
Right.
didn't care about family. She cared about me personally. And
Well,
the thing is that we don't need to hide our stuff. We need to heal from our stuff, and then we need to share with other people that we need to be igniters of hope. Because if you have a dark room, it just takes one little candlelight to go in there, and that dark gets dispelled. So if we can be little candles, and we can be igniters of hope, and we can find those people that feel hopeless, and we can start with ourselves. We can start with ourselves. We can start investing the money into high quality, non-toxic, healthy solutions, whether it is pure water, whether it is pure air, whatever aspect, whether it's pure food, whether it's shedding, releasing the extra pounds that we're carrying and so on, with good homeopathic drops and so on. We invest that money into ourselves. We have more energy. We feel better. Other people start looking at us and going like, oh my God, you're 61 years old. You look fabulous. What are you doing? We start sharing what we're doing. We start caring. We start being that little candle, being that igniter of hope. And lo and behold, all of a sudden we start getting remunerated for it. We start getting money coming in. And guess what? My vision, Tyhson, is to put wealth into the hands of heart-centered people and to change the world. Why not?
yeah, why not? So all you people out there that are heart-centered, which I'm sure because you're listening to the wellness show, which is for heart-centered entrepreneurs, for those that are in the wellness profession, for those that are coaches and change transformation agents, this is your opportunity. I don't think there's anything that you're doing in helping your clients that couldn't be add to the benefit of what you're delivering or providing for them that wouldn't be enhanced by good quality superfoods. So I agree with you, Alison. It's a part of a formula, a holistic approach to whatever anybody else is doing to help their clients. You might as well include good, healthy food to that equation. So how do people find you? How do they get to work with you? And what are the sorts of things that they can do when they do get to work with you? Tell us about that.
Well, people can find me in numerous ways. People can find me on Facebook, okay? Wishing health to you. People can find me just by Googling Alison Heath. People can find me at thelongevityrescuer.com. There's many, many ways to find me, but you can just Google Alison Heath, ALISONHEATH, and you'll come up with me. And the interesting thing about working with me is a willingness to have a flexible mind, to have an open mind. Now, a lot of times, generally, the way that it starts out is people want to feel better. That's what they want.
Yeah, it's a good start.
People are in a situation. Yep. Or people are in a situation where they have been left holding an empty bunch of peanut shells. They've invested their time, their energy, everything, maybe into a family, maybe into a marriage or something like that. And then all of a sudden the husband finds another younger version or something happens. They've spent years and years and years studying medicine to become a doctor or to become a lawyer or something. And they start and they realize they don't like it. They hate it. They don't have time freedom. They're not really healing people. They're just putting Band-Aids on symptoms and they don't like it. It could be they don't have a plan B. It could be they've worked many years for a corporation and then all of a sudden they get that little dreaded pink slip. It could be so many different situations. It could be a young mother that wants to stay home with their children and they don't want to have to go to work, struggle, commute, buy clothes, do all this stuff, all the stress of work to pay somebody else to raise their kids. It could be so many different scenarios. It could be they have an empty nest because everybody's moved away from home and they want something to do. They want people to connect with and they want to be of service and to be of value. It could be that they have graduated from school with a student loan that is this huge burden on their back and they don't want to go to work for somebody else. There are 1,000 different reasons why people would come and work with me. But the fact of the matter is, when they do come and work with me, they start connecting into a system. And a system, really and truly, it's about avoiding stress and time and energy, repeating things over and over. A system is something that works. And they tap into a system that works. They learn. And most of all, they learn how to be a better person and how to be a consultant and how to get what you want by helping more and more people get what they want. Caring about other people's success. So it might initially start that they want money and their goal is, I want to get some money. But it doesn't take very long before that changes to, I want to help my friends, my new friends that I've just met. I want to help my new friends and my new family that have joined me, my new team, get money and be successful. And then their real joy and their real treat is to watch the accolades pour down on their teammates. It feels like a mother bird who's just watching their little chicks fly out of the nest. It's a whole different feeling because you're taking the onus off of you and being all wrapped up in you, and you're putting it on to other people, to helping other people. And it's profound what happens with that. It's an incredibly profound experience in self-development and awareness and personal awareness.
Well, that's very exciting.
Well, that's what it's about.
So whether you come to Alison because of health, or whether you come to Alison because of wealth, or whether you come to Alison in order to bring amazing quality products to your tribe or to your family or to your loved ones, no matter, they're all interrelated, they're all part of holistic health, they're all part of the way you can show up to be healthy, wealthy, and wise. And that's what we're really talking about. That's what this healing hour is all about. Thank you, Alison, for showing up. And we tried with the technology to get more people involved, but this will be posted and be available for all those that were trying to connect on the healing hour. Same time, same place, next week, Tuesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard, and show up and get your life changed. Get from where you are to where you want to be in the shortest amount of time. And Alison, if you're available, I'd like to invite you back, and we're going to get that technology to behave itself because we've got work to do. We've got a message to show. We've got a story to tell, and we want other people to be part of that. So until next week, thank you ever so much. Bye for now.
Thank you very much. It's an honor. Thanks, Valerie. Bye, everyone.
Yeah, bye. Thanks, Valerie. Bye for now. The Healing Hour. Join us every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time or 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Feel free to phone in toll free in North America, 1-866-369-7464 or 1-866-DOWSING. Phone in to get your questions about dowsing and energy healing answered, and also to receive an energy healing. The Healing Hour is produced on Facebook Live through the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy Facebook page. It's also produced by The Wellness Show, www.thewellnessshow.ca. And so until next week, stay healthy, wealthy, and wise.